So, it has been brought to our attention that the PlayStation VR just announced a little bit more content. It announced that the price point should be relatively nominal for us broke gamers and the nerd.
Which one's the nerd?
I don't know. It was nerd this week.
Currently near the nerd.
So the price point should be very nominal, and I heard some rumors that they're going to try to port it to the PC. Is that what's going on?
As of right now, it seems like the price is sitting at about $4.99. So, a little more than your standard console, but it is new technology, so that's to be expected. And as
it still beats the Oculus Rift. The Oculus Rift was what, $6.99?
Most of the other ones are a bit more expensive. There's actually one that's like running. Which one is that? One of the cell phone companies.
Oh, the Samsung one?
Yeah, I think isn't that close to a G? Yeah, so.
But I heard that one's pretty good.
They said that one's the best in terms of performance, but can the everyday average gamer buy that?
Has anyone here actually used a virtual reality headset yet?
No.
I have not.
Does the Virtual Boy count?
That's a virtually not reality at all. Hey, Mario's Tennis was legit. That was the first Mario's Tennis ever made was on Virtual Boy?
Really?
Yeah.
Did it sell well?
Yeah, no, not really.
There we go.
Yeah.
But
it was the best-selling game on the console, but anyways.
But yes, it's $4.99. $49 US, and so far as someone that's looking like it's going to be the head contender, mostly because of the software that's being brought to it, because this is Sony, this is PlayStation, and people who are buying the PS4s are going to want this because you can attach it to your PS4, and you may be able to use I'm assuming you're going to be able to use some of the hardware from the PS4 to help run some of the games. They were saying that there's some, if you're using it for the PS4, there's going to be some sort of like extra thing you got to attach to it, and they're getting some criticism over, we're going to need extra hardware to run this thing, to handle this thing. And they're like, oh, no, it's not like that. Like, they're over-exaggerating how much you actually need this. But, and now, if they do the PC port, then we have PC developers that can get in on it, PC-only games for the VR, and we have, of course, any of the people who just want the games that are going to be coming out and want to use it as a peripheral for their PCs.
So even though Samsung's VR technology might be stronger than PlayStation, but Sony's the name that we know and trust. We know they make quality video games. We know they make quality consoles. So do you think that, and the price point is better, so do you think that when it hits the ground running, PlayStation, or excuse me, the Sony VR is going to be more prominent than Samsung, or do you think Samsung's performance will speak for itself and try to corner the market?
I
think honestly, Sony's will probably be the head contender. Will take the lead, and if I had to buy one, I'd probably want to buy, because with the new technology and the future of it being uncertain, most people are thinking, which one am I going to buy that's going to give me the most content? And it's going to be the Sony one, because they already have, as of right now, they have the largest list of games.
So, I'm sorry, not to cut you off real quick. So my question, this seems like a good segue to the PS 4.5.
That's what I was about to bring up.
Yeah. Get out of my head. So we got the PS 4.5, aka the PS 4K. Is going to be compatible with that? Like, what's going on?
This whole thing is opening up a can of worms. I think it's kind of ugly, and I think Sony needs to tread lightly, because there's a lot of issues that this brings up. The VR isn't going to work with the original PlayStation 4. Am I going to have to buy some extra hardware? So on and so forth. That's fine. That's a whole separate segment from what I'm about to bring up. They're announced recently that they're looking into doing 4K gaming. As you mentioned earlier when we were talking before the podcast, they're going to be bringing out this new version of the PlayStation. They've tentatively called it the PlayStation 4.5.
That's just the street name is kind of going around. So as of this moment, there isn't any indication as to whether or not it's going to be a whole new system, whether it's going to be hardware you're going to have to go purchase separate and attach to your PS4 to make it better. So there's very little known other than they wish to somehow make it so that the PS4 can run games on 4K. You can watch video, you can look at pictures, but you can't play your games on 4K. And then, on the software developer's end, how do you upscale your older games to 4K?
Well, most 4K TVs can upscale it for you. But the thing is that if the games aren't in 4K, then there's no point. The reason that 4K is going to pop into video games is when you have those textures that are rendered that way. So when you see a 4K game on a PC, those textures are just so fine. The little details are not pixelated at all. It looks like you're seeing something real. I hope they release Final Fantasy 15 on PC. I don't think they've announced it to be on PC. I think it's just Xbox and PS4.
15?
Yeah.
They said they may bring it to the piece.
But I want
Just so happens I read an article about that during our break, and yes, they said that they're going to drop it on the console first, and then after they see the success of that, they will try to port it to the PC.
But that would be amazing to see because that's going to be 4K. Because we already know what that entails. But we know our PS4 can't handle it. We know our Xbox One can't handle it. My Wii U, we ain't even bring that. But so I'm going to have to go out and spend another $400 or $500 on a whole new console specifically just so I can play games in 4K. But I've got a perfectly good PS4 over there that plays them in 1080p, and that's actually okay with me.
I don't think they're gonna do such a drastic step. Honestly, I think they know their stuff. They know their PR.
Well, the
Sony's
console's
been handling this well enough.
The console's only 3 years old. I mean, the life cycle of the original, just to bring it up, the original PlayStation from 1995 till when was the last PlayStation game made? 2004? And then the PS2 came out in 2000
Well, keep
and
in
went
mind,
all the way until 2012.
2016, if you want to get technical, Final Fantasy 11 had servers that were still running on the PlayStation 2, and they just shut the servers down. And that's what these Facebook memes going around right now talking about rest in peace PlayStation 2. Even though PlayStation 2 you can still play it, so it's not dead, but the last server that was hosting the PlayStation 2 game just went down this month.
And the PS3 is still hot and going. So, but the PS4 is only 3 years old.
Well, remember how technology advances with every aspect of technology. As it advances, the faster it advances. So think of it like accelerating downhill. The further it goes, the faster it progresses. So see how long it took us to go from anything, what's the word I'm looking for? Anything to digital, just analog to digital. How long did it take us to get to that? And then from digital, how fast did the digital progress? Where are we
From
at
720 to 1080 to 4K.
And then as far as like, it's even just like we look at the last gen, PS3 and Xbox 360. It's not going to be as drastic of a leap because when the PS3 and the 360 came out, HD TVs weren't really a thing. It was AV cords still. So
that's why the Wii doesn't have HDMI.
There's a huge difference between AV and 720p even, but there's not a huge difference as big of a leap from 1080 to 4K.
I mean, it's a leap, but it's not enough for me to pop down $500 for a new PS4.
Right, and if I say I bought a 4K TV, I'm sure if I bought a 4K TV and I played something on 4K, and I decided to bust out the old 1080p TV and play it on there, I'm not gonna go, oh, what's this shit? I'm gonna. But if I plugged in my 360 on an old box,
it would look like shit.
I'm gonna, what the fuck is this? So,
So I got some questions. I got some gripes. Listen, I am hopelessly pessimistic when it comes to this PS 4.5 and aka PS 4K. PS 4K to me sounds like PS $4,000 because I have to get a new television. To get, you know what I'm saying? I possibly have to get a new console. I will then probably have to get new games. I know they're going to do the backwards compatibility if it's a whole new system, if they're not going to add on.
After you pop down all that money, you have to get a new wife.
It's the PS4Gs, because that's what's going to have to happen. You know what I'm saying? So my question, is it worth it? You know what I'm saying? Will it be new hardware, new games? What's the price point? Will GameStop, Best Buy, or anybody do something for me where I can take my old PlayStation 4 and help trade it in and get a legitimate value for it for the new PS 4.5? Or am I going to want to keep it for some nostalgic purposes, you know what I'm saying, and just have two systems? Is it going to be more expensive, less expensive? Hold up, real quick. Sorry. And is it going to be like the iPhone? The iPhone, they're coming out with a new phone every year, every 2 years. Is this going to be the growing trend now?
That software is all compatible back and forth. So as long as that software is compatible, I think that's fine, and don't get me wrong, I don't think this is a bad thing. I think this is a good thing that Sony's trying to do this. I think it's a good thing for Sony to go 4K, and they needed to do that with the original release of the PS4. However, they should not do the same thing that Nintendo fucked up with this new 3DS when they're bringing out games that won't work on the original 3DS, so people who bought the original 3DS can't even play these new titles. And if they do that with these 4K games where you can only play them on this 4K 2.5 gigahertz, whatever the hell they're going to end up calling this damn PS 5000, it's stupid.
I don't think they'll do it. It wouldn't be a lasting trend. They wouldn't be able to do it. No one would, after the first one, no one would buy any more.
It'd be a Sega CD all over again.
No one
will the PS 4K games have a higher price point than the PS4 games? We're paying $59.99 now for a game.
You still pay $59.99 for certain 360 and even Wii game. Brawl, you ever tried buying Brawl?
Will we be paying $69.99? $79.99. I know we're paying $100 now because of DLC. That's a conversation for another time. We're paying over $100 for DLC now anyway. But if I have to buy the standard game fresh out the box, it's gonna be $69, $79.99.
It's funny you bring that up because that's a great sin.
It's not a segue because I'm still ranting about this PS4.5.
You know what really grinds my gears?
You know what's grinding my gears? Okay, so and this is only because it's the only game that I can think of at this current moment. But Quantum Break was just tested by a third party,
Independent?
an independent party, to find out was it running at full 1080p. And do you know what the results were? The
No.
entire game is not running in full
Doesn't shock
1080p.
me. I bet you it does on PC though.
Well, we'll come back to that because this is how we're going to keep on the PS4.5. So, with that said, Quantum Break being a brand new game that they bragged about running full 1080p and only has about 1/6 of the game actually running on full 1080p with certain cutscenes and some of the gameplay has changed when it's running 1080p. Will a 4K game and a 4K gaming system continually run at 1080p?
Are you
Or
going to
excuse me, at
notice
4K?
it? Are you going to notice it if it segues back and forth?
I'm probably not going to notice it, but I'm paying for it, so even if I don't notice it, it better be there.
Yeah.
They got 4K DVDs, 4K Blu-rays, whatever they're called, that are going for $30 and $40 right
Yeah.
now. So you mean I know the games are going to be more expensive, and you're going to tell me that it's only running 4K during these cutscenes? I'm not so.
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy about that either.
I'm not so.
The technology will grow cheaper over time, though. This like Blu-rays are now as much as DVDs, where in the past, in DVDs you can only find in the bargain bins. So I mean, it's going. 4K televisions and 4K systems are going to be seen more and more in the home, and they already are. 4K TVs are being seen in a higher percentage of homes than they ever have been.
I just bought mine on
So-
last year.
So it's getting there. Like it's
He's
starting
not.
to pick
He's
up.
not the broke gamer.
And
What are you talking about? I'm broke as shit.
He's the nerd today.
I'm broke as shit.
So I never think technological advancement is a bad thing, and I hope that Sony has the peace of mind or the right of mind to do the thing that we all want them to do, and not make it so I have to. If I want to play Dead Space 4,
Yeah.
which you never gonna fucking
And
happen. But if
that's
I want to play
all
Dead Space
it
4, I
is.
gotta play it on the 4.
As long as they do it right, so they're not alienating some of their already installed user base, they'll be fine.
And I'm not that old. I miss my Nintendo. And I'm not that old guy where I don't approve of change. And I feel you. I'm only saying that if they put a monopoly on it and they put the shackles on our wrists to make us have to go and purchase this versus it being an option, that's the biggest gripe.
They run
I
the
have
risk,
for it.
though, and this is a good segue, I guess. They run the risk of, if they do it like that, if they force you to have to buy a game to play on the new system, what if Microsoft on the Xbox, what if they decide they want to do a power leap, but they're not going to make it, so you have to buy the system to play the game? Or they're going to make it so the new game that comes out is going to
Play on the original
Play on
Xbox
the
One.
360, it's
Oh,
going to play on the
shit.
Xbox One, and it's going to play on the Xbox 1.5, or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.